You've probably all been looking forward to this GWR festival event since I did the trailer for it just late last year. Well, here it is. So just sit back and enjoy this long, fairly long Great Western Festival. I hope you all enjoy it. And always a good idea to start off with the famous loco. 3717 City of Truro. For her first train, as you can see, she's pulling a small Great Western vintage one. There'll be a few vintage trains in this festival. As you can see here, we have 3 four-wheel coaches. One of them's fairly newer, which I got a few years back, and these 2 are old, much older second-hand ones, which a friend of mine gave me when I bought the pannier tank off him, the NCB liveried one, which we'll be seeing shortly. And of course, 2 very smart, exquisite-looking Great Western Colestri coaches. Again, some of these you'll see are older ones, where older Homey Railways ones with their white wall plastic wheels, but they still really do look fantastic. They definitely suit 3717 the best. She's running superb, pulling this train really well. You can definitely sit in nice vintage Great Western in this event. Again, they really don't get used as much, the four-wheel coaches. Well, they see occasional use, really. Just have to keep an eye on these older ones here, as some of them don't have all their coupling hooks on. Again, despite some of those four-wheel coaches not having all their coupling hooks on, they seem to be coupling to each other okay onto the Colestri vehicles as well. Again, these really do look just fantastic. Fantastic all coupled together like this. And I've just coupled Truro to the other end and to this Colestri coach, so she's going to pull them tender first. Let's get her going. Power. Nice smooth start off. Can tend to be a bit noisier backwards. Even a couple of Blackman ones as well, really. Just playing them tender first pretty well. City of Truro again. She'll be shown pulling a few different trains during this, and here she is with a double auto coach service. There'll be double and single auto coaches during this Great Western event. Again, we're all familiar with these two auto vehicles. To double auto coaches, the loco will pull it from both ends. And now, well, in the trailer I mentioned 3717 City Truro with the surprise. The surprise is just approaching the corner now. It's coming around. Now, you're familiar with Truro, you're familiar with the Great Western Collesterary cars. Well, you've seen her pulling 2 of them so far. So the 2 at the start of the event. This is the large Great Western vintage train, well, larger. Here is 3717 City of Truro with not 1, not 2, but 5 vintage Great Western Collesterary vehicles. A complete rake of 5 altogether. Now this really does look spectacular. This train looks really unlike well, any other one I've ever really run on this track before. Fantastic vintage one, made up of all these Collesterary cars. Again, the middle ones are the older Hornby Railways ones, but they still look pretty much new, really. They're in fantastic condition. All got their coupling hooks, and the end ones are newer. But well, this M1 here is actually second hand, but is newer than the middle 3. And this front one here, of course you already know, I got this one new. I've made up this rake really especially for Truro to pull. Well, I'll probably give a few other locos a chance at pulling it as well, because it really does look fantastic. Again, looks really unlike anything else I've ever shown, ever filmed, ever run on this video. So this is the surprise, probably the main highlight of this Great Western Festival. She's pulling them superbly, really well. So again, got all these together for this special vintage Great Western train. In fact, if you look carefully at the end one, it stands out from the others really. Well, one reason is the different coloured roof, all the other ones are white, of course. But this one, if you look carefully, you can see it's weathered. It was actually weathered by its previous owner. It's a brake one, of course, and I must say, previous owner of this carriage, if you're watching this, I'll tell you now, you've done a fantastic job at weathering this beautiful Collesterary car. Again, if you hopefully the camera should pick a bit of it up, all down the sides, a bit on the roof as well, and also down below. He's done good weathering detail underneath as well, on the bogies and in the middle. This is just one awesome looking train. Beautiful vintage Great Western loco, and just incredible vintage GWR coaches. And the second carriage quite stands out as well from the others, along with this one, the weathered one, again being hand weathered, so it's not a standard one anymore. But again, back to the second one, of course, if you look, it's the slightly different tone of the brown and cream, or chocolate and cream GWR colours, and definitely different from the others. And one thing different about it is that it has third, and not first, but second class compartments in as well. I think they're at this end, I think. So, well, third and second. The other ones, well, one of these is a full third one, and all the others are both first. Well, all the others apart from this one are first and third, but this one is second and third. And again, these three, of course, they don't look it, as I said, but are the older Hornby Railways ones with the plastic white-walled wheels. if you look closely there. Again, as I said, I will give some other locos a chance at pulling this vintage Calestri rake as well, as it just looks so good. But Truro definitely suits it the best. Again, got all these coaches together especially for her. Let's see how some old film shots look of this train. .3717 racing along now. Definitely running part of the Great Western's fame here, as she races along the main line. Everyone coming to get their shots of the famous City Class as she passes at high speed. Really does look spectacular, this one. Recently just given her a little bit of lubrication, as there was a slight squeak. You may have heard it. It was coming from one of the tender wheels. And now Large Prairie 5108. She's going really well. And now the NCB liveried pannier tank 7754. She's running well. Next, 5660. 062 tank with the auto coaches and running bunker first. And now here's the 062 tank with the Mark 1s. Again, another superb performer. And now for Western Region Diesel. And here is Western Invader. Again, we haven't seen her running for a while. And running very smoothly, of course. Definitely a good diesel, this one. And now running the other way. Again, she's quite a noisy one, but a superb performer. And now for the Castle class. 7028 Cadbury Castle from the Western Pullman set, of course. Again, she also hasn't been out in a while, but we're all quite familiar with this one. Again, she's another noisy but still a pretty good performer. Again, this locomotive is pretty much Hornby's original Castle class tooling. So apologies if I'm sounding a bit deeper than usual. When I film these, I had a bit of a funny throat. Which looks good with these coaches. Again, both me and IC82 on the Western Pullman set, and we've both done unboxing reviews of it. If you haven't seen those already, I'd recommend checking those out. Again, Will does does run his in his video, so it's a bit more. But I will do. I'll definitely do a video of this locomotive pulling a fairly long Pullman train one day. I'll try and get a couple of Pullman cars together. Let's have another look at the Clerestory rake, this time being pulled by 4970 Sketty Hall. Again, as I said, I'll be giving several locos a chance at pulling this fantastic looking rake. Here's Sketty Hall with a mixed GWR coach set, a few different types. The freight train, which you've briefly just seen, will be pulled by several different locos, and Sketty Hall's first up with it. We have quite a long one here. These are all Great Western wagons, as you can see, and this Pale Pops van, Pale Pop Sausages van, you can just see it there, you can pick it out, the white GWR logo in the middle there, below the Royal Cambridge, so I've included that one. Hope it's nice and warm in the two towed brake vans. Next loco. This is this one's first time in a video, well, an event like this. Small Prairie 5553. She's first pulling the light 2 coach service. I'm running really smooth. Again, she's going to be shown pulling a fair few different trains during this as well. "5553 is on the freight now, but as you can see the train has been shorter. We now have a sort of medium-sized van train. Well, I was as well as thinking of having longer and shorter freight trains running, where it's mainly longer ones with bigger locos like Sketty Hall and shorter ones with small locos like this one. Well, she could manage the big one. Well, not exactly. It's because, and the floor does, again, I've said before, it wasn't built very well. Again, the ceiling's even worse. But this part of the floor does run slightly uphill from the rest of it down that way. It looks, well, I'm not sure if that's the way the wardrobes were built there, but this bit does go uphill a bit, and well, it can sometimes cause a bit of a sprinting speed. It's not serious at all. It's copable, but again, 5553. She's only a small engine, and again, that freight train was much heavier than I thought it was, and I'm not sure if she was, well, only really at low speeds, but possibly struggling a bit on this curve, as it is a bit sharper than the outer one. It's a third radius. Here she's again. She's coping fine now. Well, I've got her running at quite a lowish speed just to check. But I think she was struggling a touch with the long one on there. There was a little bit of wheel slip at low speed, so I've just shortened the train. But again, it's always good to have short and long ones going. A bit more adventurous. I know you've seen this one before in a separate video, but I thought I'd include the Small Prairie once again with the auto coach in here. And now going the other way, as if being controlled by the controls in the auto coach cab. Another fine looking train now with a very fine loco. 6002, King William IV comes by with the Colestry rake. Again, she's pulled one Colestry car before during last summer's Steam event. But this is King Class's first time, of course, pulling the whole Colestry set. And now here's William, His Majesty with the mixed rake. One absolute stunner of a loco, this one. Great puller, running beautifully. Again, these two carriages here, also known as these sanitary ones, they are quite, they are pretty good and quite curious looking ones, and particularly with the way, the shape of the doors. But they certainly look good, along with the collets. Again, I got this one from Railfest. Again, they have destination boards on, both of them. And so the same four places, starting from Paddington. Again, the camera can't really pick it up, but with 3 destinations from the Great Western route, from London Paddington to South Wales, Newport, Cardiff and Swansea. Again, she's one of the best locos I've ever owned, this King Class. Always runs superb, this King Class. Next loco, one we're all very familiar with. She's been making many appearances in videos on the majority of events like this. Collect Goods 2253. First up with the freight. Again, over the past few years, we've got to know this loco very well. Again, been making many appearances, pretty much taking part in every special event, which includes steam engines. Again, over the past few years, we've got to know this loco very well. Again, been making many appearances, pretty much taking part in every special event, which includes steam engines. She's very versatile. Very good loco, good runner. Again, she did very well in last year's steam event. And just like last year's event, and the mixed traffic one the year before. Oh God, I can't believe that's nearly 2 years ago. But again, she's going to be shown pulling a fair few different trains. Again, starting off with the freight. And now here with the light 2 coach. And now with the 2 auto coaches. Again, she's a very active loco, and here she is with a smart looking 4 coach, 3 Hawksworth vehicles and a B-set Suburban brake. They really do make up a smart looking rake of coaches, these Hawksworth vehicles. And again, the B-set brake one here matches quite well, as it's in the same GWR livery with the Great Western words on the side with the logo. Again, rather curious design, this one. With the much smaller bogies. The 2253 is pulling them excellent. And now here she is, working very hard with the 6 coach, the mixed set. I think this is the first time, again, I've done many videos of 2253, but I think this is the first time I've filmed a pulling 6 coaches. Well, I don't normally have run heavier loads, normally on lighter local, like branch line duties, as she's more well suited to those. But she's definitely going well with this rake of coaches. Definitely making me pleased, this one. I don't know, just something about this loco. Probably the way she runs. Again, she's always making me pleased. Reminds me of Edward of Thomas. And she always wants to keep active. Very good little loco. And now finally with another 4 coach. And now final loco. I was thinking since we started with the steam, we'll finish with the diesel. And here is Warship the 806 Cambrian. Again, long time no see with this one. Haven't really done that many videos of her. And I think this is the first time I've ever showed this one in a special event. Well, I'll make sure I include her in the next diesel gala. Again, I did a few videos of her a few years back on my original channel, which no longer exists. But she's running really well. She's really smooth. Playing a medium 4 coach. Again, the first 1 or 2 videos I did of her, again, quite a few years ago now on my old channel, she had a original motor in, which was, if you listen to her now, imagine that noise but 50 times louder. For some reason, it wasn't that motor was extremely noisy. And again, as I said before, it was taking its last life and soon completely died. But again, the man in the shop where I got her from very kindly fitted her with a brand new motor, which is much quieter. You can barely hear it. Well, 50 times quieter than the original one was. Again, it's still unknown as to why that one was so noisy. Well, sort of. But this one is just perfect. And for the final 2 shots, Cambrian pulling the 6 mix coach. Well, I hope you all really enjoyed that. It took me ages to do. Well, I filmed it throughout all of the majority of January, and it took ages to put together. But it was definitely worth all that time. It's definitely been a good success, this one. Now this was the first of maybe a few, possibly several Great Western galas that I might do. So there probably will be a few more of these coming up, hopefully in the near future. Maybe possibly featuring new Great Western local arrivals. Again, both steam and diesel. More rolling stock as well. Again, maybe longer trains of specific types of coaches featured. But again, this first one has definitely been a good success. Again, I hope you all enjoyed it. Thanks. Thank you very much for watching. Again, and wish all look forward to hopefully some more of these coming up in the near future. Thanks very much. And now here's Cambrian. Oops.